Okay, we are live and I'm out.
Okay. Hi everyone. Um, this is Toshal here from AWS UG Pune, and we have with us Chirag Nayyar. Okay. So we'll just start. Let me introduce Chirag. Okay. So Chirag is I would say avid cloud enthusiastic, and he's a part of the AWS Community User Group Kolkata. He's working as technical sales at Cloud Kinetic Singapore. Okay. Um, Chirag is a multi cloud certified individual, and he's very busy with all the training session everywhere. So I'll without any ado, I will hand over to Chirag. So Chirag can take us for the next 16 minutes and help us in terms of how we are can shape our career in AWS. Over to you, Chirag.
Okay, thank you. I welcome you everyone and thank you Toshal, Anurag, Jayesh and entire team of AWS UG Pune. It's my honor to be here to part and to interact with the community again to share about my learning since from last 5 to 6 years what I am trying to do and what kind of opportunities I found and what kind of failures happened with me so that the next time when you are facing the same situation you will have some idea how to tackle. And really before starting, again a big thanks and thank you to all of you who are tuning in, and we are going to start. Let me share my presentation. I have a small presentation, but because this is a very broad topic, what I am looking for more and more questions, because talking about a career in cloud itself are very broad and it is covering a lot of different area and key aspect. And that's it. So feel free to drop your question. I will take the queries and questions at the end of at the end of a presentation. And give me few seconds. Let me share my presentation with you guys. And I believe everyone is able to see my screen now. So our today's topic is career in AWS. Quick introduction again about me, like what I am doing. So I started my career in November 2016, and since then it's like my first job I'm doing and proceeding. I live multiple different places like Mumbai, Calcutta, and right now presently I'm placed out of Singapore. My role is a techno-commercial role, so which is a mix of a technical understanding, discussion, requirement gathering, as well as delivering the commercial aspect of a solution. Being a part of multiple communities, I am a co-organizer of AWS UG Calcutta, as well as I'm an organizer of Kubernetes CNCF Calcutta. Recently, I started my YouTube channel, and feel free to subscribe. The link is there. And if you have any query, if you want to reach out to me one-on-one, the email is on the screen now. You can drop me a mail anytime. I will try my best to respond as soon as possible, and as well as feel free to connect me on my social profile. Again, disclaimer, I have no affiliation with everyone. All opinions are my own, all understanding and all whatever I'm going to talk about, it's all my own thought process and my opinion. So before started, I would like to know if the people who are watching, feel free to drop in the comment section what's your role, whether you're a database architect, software engineer, fresher, ML enthusiast, or whatever the field you are proceeding. I'm waiting for a couple of seconds and looking for some replies. So feel free to drop your comment because it will help me to understand more about you. According to that, I will rate couple of thoughts from my side. So I'm waiting for a couple of responses. Great. Seeing some responses. Great. Good. Feel free even if you are a student. Nothing to shy here because there is something for everyone. Great. I got couple of replies. Some are platform engineer, DB guys also my favorite. Yeah, data warehousing, awesome, and big data manager, superb, middleware engineer. Thanks. Feel free to again put, no issue. We will cover at the end also. I will seeing the responses later also, and feel free to drop your question. So because as this is a very broad topic, so everyone will have a one question like what's for me in this session and why should I need to consider AWS as an option. So whether you are a developer, I'm going to share some thoughts. Whether you are a system admin guy, again there is something for you. Whether you are a data architect, data something, cloud is here, AWS is here, and I will share something about that. And this is a very big field, and the new field especially, I found a lot of our students, they are doing an awesome job. They have a very deep understanding about the ML and the framework and even the upper layer. So there is something for ML guys also, whether you're experienced or you're in your student and college phase. And most important, if you are fresher, if you are looking to start your cloud journey, what's for me, I'm going to talk about that also. Quick agenda, why to plan career in AWS, why we need to think and consider that AWS as a career option, what are the opportunities there, and important part, how to learn AWS, because that is why I asked at which phase of your career you are, regardless of fresher or experienced pro, or maybe you just want to switch your career from the one technology platform or one technology field to the cloud field, how to learn, and what kind of values and how you can design your roadmap to land to your dream job. And another, I believe this is another very hot area right now, because we all are stuck at home, and we are getting a time to learn more and more, to reskill and upskill, and certification is something which we all are looking, and AWS is one of the famous certification globally. So I would like to talk on that area also, that whether it matters or not, because that is like chicken and egg problem. And at the end, few tips from my side about like how you can look, how you can prepare and seek a job in the world of AWS. Let's start with why AWS as a career. I'm not going through the too much of numbers and marketing slide, but couple of things. The links are also the presentation. Again, the presentation will be shared, so you can follow the links and read the whole article. That cloud computing is the hardest skill that companies need the most. It was the previous year also, this year also, the same survey going on, and this is a result coming because cloud computing is a very big field. It is not only about the Linux server or maybe some kind of serverless thing, but lot of key areas, key aspects need to be considered about when we talk about a cloud computing and what kind of skill need to be there. AWS is the biggest platform, we all know. So it is something, why AWS, why to start from AWS, even if it is your first platform, because it is the most feature rich platform available in market. And they set a benchmark. Truly, I can say I see the transition when I started my career, even when I was in my college days, I started learning from a different platform. And in India, I travel across a country. I am from the northern part of a country. I travel across southern part, attending event. I see the transition. I started my career in 2016. At that time, it was a very very newish day in India. People were very shy to talk about. Enterprises were not maybe not taking too much of interest to think about the cloud. And then when I started my career in 2017, 18 was something it's my, again, as a personal, my learning, and I see the boom happened, and everyone, regardless of big enterprise, big scale enterprise, to the SMB, SME, SMC, and startups. Startups are always favorite to cloud because they don't have an upfront investment to build their data center. That is where the cloud is giving them the opportunity to start quickly and reach to their market, to test their product, to make their minimal viable product. So AWS is the biggest platform, and they cover the deep feature rich services for most of the area, and they set the benchmark. And then you can start seeing from last 2 to 3 years, even last 2 years, all other competitor or the player in the market start following the same pattern from the service perspective, from their certification and learning training perspective also. So that is where the AWS is taking still a lead, and it is a very long run So if you start with AWS, be it your first platform, you can say that it will be helpful to replicate your existing learning in the near future to the other platform. So that is why please think that AWS as your first cloud to learn, to start to take it as a career opportunity. And I was going through some surveys, and I found that there is a report. It is mentioned that the job posting from, again, not only from the startup ecosystem but from the overall enterprise world, that the job posting, the job requirements are getting higher and higher. And it is from the last 4 years the job rise happened 232% from a different key area, not again only on the architect level but a DevOps, especially the newer fields like ML engineer, data scientist, data engineer, and IoT world. But having said that, we have enough people who are certified in the market, but there is still a huge gap. Really, please take this as a consideration. There is a huge gap in the market. We see everyone on our social media platform. I believe I see more than 10,000 people who are connected with me having at least one or two AWS certification. But still, there is a huge gap and there is a huge opportunity because it is just a start. Cloud seems like a big, from last 2 to 3 years we are hearing that it is expanding in a very exponential rate. People are adopting, businesses are adopting lot of new use cases, lot of new technology. But if you really think about the market research and number, I am a big fond of number, guys. So I love to read about the research paper, research report. And I was going through another report. It was saying till date, from whatever we are saying, from last 6 to 7 years the cloud started, and from the last 2 years it become a mainstream. Till date, only nearby 10 to 12% of IT infrastructure moved to cloud. Still, most of the companies, most of the enterprises, most of the workload is running on premises. So there is a huge opportunity, as everyone is now thinking cloud as a mainstream. It is a key point to considerable by any business whenever they think about any new initiative, rather than expanding upfront or do the capital expenditure to build their data center. That cloud is the now choice, or choice to consider what kind of design and how any business can start there quickly. For that, the skilled people required. So that is where the huge opportunity is there. Now coming to the career opportunity, because as I mentioned about that, what's for everyone in this session, I would like to complete this slide in just a single or one sentence, that now make your mindset as that cloud is a add-on. Cloud is not necessarily that you need to think that a separate thing you need to do. Whatever you are doing, let's cover the first experience people part. Whatever you are doing, whether you are into the database field, whether you're into the development field, or you are into some different field of IT, you are a network guy, you are a security guy, take this cloud is a add-on. Nowadays, even a job description is not completed without putting the word of this, something that cloud platform is a add-on, the cloud knowledge is a add-on, or something the cloud skill is must or required. Or especially if you see the last 10 years of job description, it become changed. Software engineering job description is not the same nowadays. A new cool word came into the picture, something known as DevOps. We are hearing the DevOps from last 10 years, I believe. Since even I started my career, or even my college days, I heard this word DevOps. Everyone have its own way to explain about DevOps. Some talk about the process, some talk about the people, change management, some talk about the technology tools, which relying on the different area of deployment, delivery, testing. So DevOps is still something a buzzword, and we are now entering in the era of again a new word which is very famous nowadays in market, known as SRE, site reliability engineering or chaos engineering. All these came into picture, and we are running to get those titles. Especially, like, I would like to highlight that those titles can be cool, but those are again very broad terms, broad responsibility area. So think how you can leverage first of all your existing experience. If you are having a 10 plus year of experience, are you thinking to take a leadership role or still a hands-on role? That is, I believe, I always recommend to think about that. Whether you are planning to take a leadership role, then you need to plan your AWS learning curve in a different way than a person who is looking for a sitting hands-on, maybe a pure hands-on role or support role. So think, if you are into the development, you are Java expert, you are Node.js expert, you are this or this, maybe endless languages are there. Just try to take that how you can leverage the AWS services to as a add-on. Simple, giving you example, we are building a code, we are making or developing some application. There is something known as upload folder where our all images or content are storing, where from the front end we are taking it from our users. Now just take that you want to move that upload folder from your local file system to S3, which is a purpose built specific storage for storing the static or large blobs. So just think, then S3 just become a one remote storage or one location. You need to integrate by using the SDKs, or again the language specific SDKs, or a beautiful documentation is given. Just think and make your thought process like that, rather than thinking that you need to learn everything from scratch. That something known as S3 now came into picture, and oh, it will ruin my day and my entire week, that I need to learn something new. So people start avoiding. But if you add this as just a additional add-on, that okay, this is a one thing you are doing, you are expert in that, you want to enhance and improvise so that you can maximize the performance, or you can improve the overall SLAs of your application design, and your productivity will boost. This is, I believe, the mindset is literally required. I am a pure computer science guy. I joined as a sales guy, right? It was very tough for a technical person to talk about sales, to communicate. But the transition happened. Then I start thinking from a sales to utilize leveraging my technical understanding. It happened with me also. I was also passed through the same phase, and this is what I always now try to share, being as a 4 years as a professional career, that whatever I have learned, I have talked and worked with the multiple industry people and see the different processes, how the people are working, what they are thinking, what their thought process, and how the cloud can fit, and it will add more value in their organization, in their overall business logic and business process, and how their job will become more easy, so that they can think about the innovation rather than thinking that this is something they want to do something from a ground, or they need to learn everything from a ground, and then they will start avoiding. So for the experienced people, this is a thing. AWS is having around 200 or nearby 200 plus services, which is covering the each and every area, from the infra to the network to the security is a key aspect. Security is something the most asked question, I can say, to me as a front end guy. So security is something it will cover at every aspect. Security is not only about encryption, but you need to understand from even the application level of security, and as well as the network level of security, the user authentication authorization level of security. Encryption is obviously there, encryption by default is there, or the key services or key ring service is always there. But think, make your thought process, open your mind, because cloud is something which is covering the each and every aspect, and they have clearly made a benchmark. It's known as shared responsibility model. They are giving something out of a box, something we need to do it from our side to make the things happen. Database, guys, yes, very big opportunity, whether you are tilted stick with a one, let's say one specific proprietary database or data warehouse engine, but there is some room, or you are looking for a new initiative to start the journey on cloud or a cloud native data warehouse. AWS is having something known as Redshift, that damn awesome. Maybe you can just plan that how you can move your existing data warehouse to there, but that movement from here to there not is a straightforward. It comes with a different path. You need to understand that how the data is going to securely move to some staging storage, and then how it is going to restore from this part to this part, and how the schema design need to be there, what will be your sort keys and distribution key, what will be the schema design, what are the difference between your this cloud native Redshift data warehouse than your whatever the traditional data warehouse you are already experienced. Because if you have experience, then surely it will be easy that you will leverage that learning, or maybe you need to add maybe 10 to 20% of new learning to make yourself comfortable on AWS cloud. Again, for the developers, as I mentioned, everything is problematic, but keep remember, still we are living in the same world from last few decades. The standards are standards. Network is the same network. Yes, everything come as a software defined API driven, but the fundamental of network is same. It is written in 1918 RFC. You need to know about the private subnet, and I believe even computer science student or the engineering background has gone through some kind of network subject. But even if you are not non-IT person, I believe, let's relate something. It happen nowadays, even very common. Everyone is connected on internet, having a device. If internet went down, I believe this is a common word you heard from someone who is a non-techie, or even in your family who has nothing to do with tech. The one word is server down hai. I heard this from in my family, a 70-year-old person. I believe that person have never talked about any network thing, but this word is nowadays in very common that everyone talk. Here server down hai, इसलिए मेरा internet नहीं चल रहा. A very common word, right? So now for the non-techie people, don't shy away. There are a big room of opportunity. There is first of all no race going here. You are experiencing some different field, and you want to come into IT and you want to adopt cloud as an opportunity. It's all about efforts. At the end, your efforts matter. I just recently got a one response from one of my I can say one of a friend here in Singapore. I met with him in January. After that, I have no contact, but he showed the enthusiasm, and he reached out to me and said that hey, he got finally a job as a AWS cloud engineer, and that guy belonged to pure finance and banking industry. He has nothing to do with IT, but he landed an awesome job because of his efforts, his learning, and his way to tackle the interview, to show that yes, from having a so much and so much so year of experience in different industry to the IT, he can work. So it is something all about your enthusiasm. From especially, I'm still talking for the experienced people, freshers. Just hold on, I have something for you guys also. So experienced people, think about how you can upskill, how you can leverage and make your life more easy. It is not that everyone wants to continue their same job for maybe 10 plus years or something. Everyone wants change. And when the change come into picture, the mindset change is first of all, it is required. You can't take the same skill from one location to another and looking that you will get an instant growth. That is a one point which will not work in a long run. So please start thinking about that. It is not that we are going to do some rocket science and groundbreaking thing. Everything is available, just it's all about how you can leverage that and put that thing in your existing experience. That is where consider now cloud as an add-on, and AWS is your first opportunity. And because the huge opportunity, huge market demand is there, and the big area is open for each one of you, whether you are obviously awesome data scientist person on some different platform you are looking for. AWS is giving out of the box end-to-end services, whether you want to do the real time data ingestion, to the processing, to the analyze, to the visualization, and to put in something your own model training infrastructure. Everything is end to end. It is available on AWS. You just need to know how the process is running. Yes, you are strong in your one area, whether again data warehouse people, you are very strong in analysis, right? But you need to understand the data, how data is coming. Again, not every industry or not every business want everything in real time, because it may impact the cost factor. It may happen that yeah, the batch data is coming, there is some different service for that, the batch streaming. There is something service for the real time data streaming, which can comes maybe in a real time, or in a matter of a milliseconds, that the as the data is getting produced and it is getting consumed, it is getting processed and cleaned, and it is stored in your data warehouse system. Everything is there, but it's all about how you understand, how you first imagine. Imagination is bigger than a knowledge. Until unless you are not able to imagine how the things are working, talking about even 200 services also not make sense. And also, don't rush to learn everything in AWS. It is not, maybe again, not helpful for a long run, because everyone have its own core area, comfort zone. What I am trying to share here is just to add, just to leverage your existing experience, to enhance your skill, and to help your organization and businesses to leverage the cloud power, the AWS power, to make your business more and more efficient, rather than thinking that you have some limitation in your existing infrastructure and you need to wait for maybe weeks and months to get a new infrastructure. Once it will came, it will set up, and then only you will be able to do the experimentation. That is where the cloud is coming and giving the opportunity to play fast, build fast. Thumb rule is build fast, fail fast, and you will be able to do troubleshooting. Now, talking about freshers, that is a very core area that, yeah, nowadays it's not a new that people who are into their final year or even the first year students, they are very good in technology. Resource availability is awesome now. 10 years back it was very tough because internet was luxury. Now it is just a necessity, and everything is available in dirt cheap cost or even the in free of cost. And students are learning awesomely, damn good guys. But don't think that, first of all, that you do the upper level first and then you think that you will land to again the superb job, because industry is not moving that much faster pace than the services release cycle of AWS. Most of the time you will see you have done something on the higher level, again put it as a stack of, simply the cloud cycle is going from on premises to cloud is a lift and shift, where we cover mostly into the infrastructure as a services or maybe some platform as a services. Or this comes to the very newer initiative, or business is already make a mind that they are going to build a cloud native application, then this newer world of containers, serverless, this and that came into picture. So that is even a first layer. Then the second layer come into insights or analytics. Until unless you have not make some your business, you don't have a data. Some organization have already data from last couple of years, they can start directly to do the analytics there and their current operation there. But the cycle is going to lift and shift to the analytics. Then maybe later stage, again depend upon again business to business, that predictive then prescriptive. If you directly start with prescriptive and forget about your core thing, which is network, storage, compute, trust me, guys, it will be much tougher to survive in a long term. Cloud is removing the barrier to buy hardware, to play hardware. I have done my training in some organization where I have to configure switches, and it was really painful to configure switches because I was not interested. I just found that, oh, I am going to in a data center, I will play something, but in just a matter of couple of days, I was fed up that, hey, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I don't want to do switches, all wiring part, all these things. Just cloud is giving away. We are, if we understand the OSI model, all those 7 layers, couple of layers are removed. But yes, at least layer 4 you need to understand how the things are, packets are moving there, and layer 7. Layer 3 also came into picture, but it's again a very advanced level. Come into something known as direct connect, or if you understand about BGP, or if you are a network guy, then that will be your easy playground. But that is still the most important. I Because the example which I gave, server down, a guy who has nothing to do with IT know about there is something word known as server. So you can understand that we are living, the information is there. Again, I think that networking is something that everyone should know in this world. Again, condition apply, the people who can't do, it's a different, or not want to do. But the people who are in IT and who are looking to switch a career in IT, and students regardless of any field, networking, everyone need to know and have a basic understanding on tips, understanding of what is the 1918 RFC, or how the private subnet and public subnet is configured. Still, it's a IPv4, IPv6 is in the market since last 2 decades, but maybe slowly it is getting traction and getting implemented with the growth of IoT and all those connected devices. But IPv4 is still the mainstream. Any enterprise, any job, it is required. Then talking, you want to become a developer, you are not focused again on these things, fine, the SDKs are here for the development purpose. It's okay that you can develop an application, but then when it comes to do the production level thing, you need to rely on again the basic of this compute, storage, networking. Until unless you will not able to understand what is the specific storage required, what is the purpose built, or what is the function of each storage, then your architecture and your design can fail. If you don't understand the meaning of this, again a technical term, sequential input output or random input output, then it will be tough to figure out like which storage will fit. Now translating into simple language is the object storage and the block storage, or block storage or block device. So really try to understand a high time with you. Don't try to put yourself in a trap to understand the upper layer only. It will not make a good sense in the long run, because not every industry is looking for that. Still it is expected everyone knows the fundamental, because it is a continuous learning curve and continuous cycle which will give you the next level of learning. One quiz, because intentionally I have put, please read the quiz and drop your answer. Don't open your AWS console as well as the documentation. I believe in the audience, most of the people also are certified, right? At least a essay level. Please give an answer, and maybe some quiz or something will be some gift will be there. So the question is, how many CloudWatch metric are available in AWS console by default for T2 or T3 instance type family? Please drop your answer. I am waiting for some responses. Whatever, maybe you can, again, it's not any test, but just want to set another level of expectation and some learning here. Okay, great. Some numbers are there. But yeah, this is why I asked this question is something, because everyone started learning and jump on some market favorite courses and think that once they complete the course, they know everything and they will get or land to a job easily. That is the first myth, but I can say 99% of people are not able to give this correct answer, because intentionally I have mentioned this T2, T3. Now you need to understand what is the specialty of T2, T3. According to that, out of the box, some metrics are coming. Everyone completed the course, even from AWS training or some other whatever in the market, multiple good quality courses are available. I also gone through that, but think about now, translate this thing into that you want into the practical way, because learning of one course and sitting for a one exam is not that much important, because that is again a bare minimum. Exams are not getting updated every day. It is a cycle of 18 to 24 months. But things are in the cloud world is changing in a much faster way. Again, it is relying on the same fundamental. After, I believe, seeing this question, the first point obviously everyone came into mind, or whenever we started playing with a CloudWatch, one metric we all have configured in our life: CPU utilization. That is, I'm pretty sure that everyone have gone through that and touched that point, that yeah, CPU utilization. But guys, CPU utilization is just one thing. You need to really know what other metrics are required according to your application also, or maybe from your infrastructure also. Custom application metrics are different, but by default something out of the box is provided, which need to be considered. Again, don't think RAM is not a or the memory is not a out of a box metric. We need to install the agent, and then we need to pull and do all those namespace dimensions. But think for T2, T3 there is something special came into picture. Yes, someone wrote a very nice thing. Yes, the burstable credits, because T2, T3 is having some different property. Everyone started with the free tier, everyone completed the course, get certified, put it on social media, get lot of traction. Good. even appear for interview. I found like yes, everyone got an opportunity appear or got a call for interview, but the one thing which is then missing, how it need to be translated into the realistic world, or how it need to be taken from the existing system. That if in, let's say, in the scenario came into picture that you are going to hire for moving your existing system to the AWS cloud, what thing you need to consider there because from the course you will say, hey, we can start small with the free tier, we will get two T2 or T3 something for a year, the instance type. But you really need to understand what is the actual property here. That is I can make sure that missing part of those courses and learning, and that is where everyone need to put a effort regardless of fresher or experienced guy. Watching a course is a one thing, going through endless courses, free stuff is a one thing, getting certified is just maybe a less than 1%. I can say I have around maybe 20 plus certification, but it doesn't mean that I become a so super duper guy. It is just trying to continuous learning curve. Even in my college days, before even pass out, I have around 6 certification, but no value at that time for me because I was talking nonsense thing in my interview. Just giving you example that just giving you example, someone asked me in the interview that okay, there is a web server, how you can tweak the Apache web server to make the more optimized. I was never played with the Apache option. I installed Apache and follow the tutorials and make things auto scaling. So I was overconfident in saying, hey man, auto scaling will make sense, like a problem solved because cloud is there. But then someone gave me on the interview the learning that, can you tell me who will justify the cost? See, you need to consider all those key area. Cost a business for you and me, even it is very tough that we think that we if we cross the free tier limit, it may hamper us or our budget. It is possible, yes. For the business it is much more bigger decision for even a single dollar. So try to think and think wisely that what actually you need to learn. This is a just add-on which is giving you the flexibility and agility to start quickly, but whether this will fit your business requirement, what kind of surrounding or tweaks you need to take. Again, making a auto scaling application, you need to then understand the stateful and stateless architecture and the concept, that how you are going to make sure that your application need to be have a stateless thing so that your user experience will not die. So think wisely, think from that angle. For the experienced people also the same thing applicable. Don't think only the one area, because cloud is giving the opportunity or building itself as a distributed, everything is distributed, that all one thing will not fit all. That is, I believe, the quote from Dr. Werner Vogel, who is the CTO of Amazon. So that is where Amazon is putting his own thought process to design the services according to the requirement. You just bring those blocks, connect the dots, and your solution will be workable. So think according to that, make your thought process around that, then only take a call that yes, the career can be surely. I can then tell you, if you clear those concept and make your thought process around that, you again don't need to learn everything, but you need to understand the basic thought process that these kind of things will be required. And most of the architecture is coming with the with again the foundation. Let me talk about something, cloud native architecture or something we call go. Maybe some cool startup came into picture and they say, hey, we don't want to deal with the Linux server or Windows operating system. We don't want to touch any infrastructure as a service. We are pure serverless computing guy. Period. But let me tell you that even those serverless functions need somehow connectivity to internet to pull packages, to pull some updates or something. There you need to again come into picture of VPC. If you don't know that how VPC and NAT work into picture, what is the function of network address translation, what is the NAT gateway, how it will get connected, how your serverless functions is going to talk with internet to maybe pull maybe some kind of integration or maybe some kind of API gateway integration. So it's coming into the same bottom line of the basics of compute network storage. Keep remember this thing. This is the important part. Even while you appear for interview, these kind of things are expected, that at least because in interview no one is going to discuss his the business plan and how you are going to solve that. It is again a very generic thing, but to test that, yes, if you show in your resume you have a 3x AWS certified, but if you don't know the basic metrics of CloudWatch, then please rethink. It is a high time to rethink. That is why the huge gap, the skill gap. Everyone is certified, okay, but it doesn't make that everyone knows everything. Please think. Okay, so answer of this thing is 14. Now, how to learn AWS? First thing, I don't want to share any resource. It's again your choice, but don't follow too much of resources for same thing. I came across this thing. Why this idea? I see for a single thing, for even an essay associate, people are following four different courses from four different, maybe some companies or something different platform, and still then I believe it is expected that if you learn that thing four time, at least you have a perfect score, at least 1,000, and people are getting failed, guys. After learning from four different places, people are not able to crack because the basics are missing. People think that they are in race, they want to do something, they want to become a cool to put the certificate on their LinkedIn or some other profile, and that they will land to a job. Please stop doing this. This will not make any sense. This will ruin your whole taste about cloud. If you start doing, rather than learning the same thing from a four different platform, will not make any difference, but it will create more confusion. Everyone have its own way to teach. So think not to do, maybe read, go through, follow one. I can't recommend. Whatever you found, you need to do some effort and R&D. I'm getting thousands of messages like from where I can start. I have followed some AWS training. I follow platform one, platform two, platform three. Do you think I should follow platform four also? I am bit maybe against in such kind of the approaches. Follow one thing, then put your thought process. If you are experienced, then I believe you have gone through the multiple scenarios. Try to simulate, try to even think. Not even, again, not everything can be the practically, because yes, it may happen. It's not covered under free tier. Some cost implication can be there, or you are a bit worried that yes, something not configured mistakenly, which will lead to the unnecessary cost. I totally agree. It happened with me. I misconfigured CloudWatch. I have paid around 56 bucks when I was in my college days, and it was very tough for me also. But think, at least you can simulate. Pen and paper is always a helpful. If you don't want to drawing on your computer system, pen and paper is always a helpful thing. You can draw something with using your pen and paper, that yes, and then you can vet it through the AWS documentation. Lot of architectures are given. Put some effort. Again, focus on learning regardless of any field. Now let's talk about the data people and ML people, my favorite heroes. So guys, you are learning everything, you are expert in everything, but when you come into the cloud, you need to really know, because previously there was something known as we need to bring storage near to compute, but now everything is distributed and everything storage is damn cheap and unlimited infinite is available. And we need to really know that yes, we can put our data which is not required, we can put archive it, whatever the data required to process, we can make it as a available, and we can put compute near to that. So if you don't know how the compute and how you can bring what kind of implication of the network throughput and performance will be there, again the project or the query, the result which you are expected may not come. It is possible now, especially the people who are using the Hadoop in a bigger way or the Apache Spark in a bigger way. You need to really know about all these things. Even the same with Redshift. If you want to put your data after processing and cleaning from EMR to Redshift, and even from the S3 to here, you need to know about the security implication, how you are going to call the S3, what are the VPC endpoints, or maybe some private link if required something. So again, you will boil down to again the lower layer, which is covering all these three: compute, storage, networking. So focus on that before jumping to directly into AWS course. It may be a matter of a day or two, or maybe a week or two, depend upon a person to person. Everything is available easily, beautifully, and much informatively on internet. do some R&D, make your notes, make your thought process, rather than just purchasing a course and maybe put your target that you want to complete in 2 to 3 days, and in just 7 days you want to sit for exam. Okay, you pass the exam, maybe you will achieve perfect score, kudos, but what else? In a month you're going to forget all those concepts, and things will not surely not work out, because until unless it will not go through your mind and your own practice, or maybe pen and paper, it is tough to digest and to memorize. Few things can be memorized, but yeah, few things will come with its own limitation after that, when it comes to do some actual test or the day of interview or the work. Even let's say you can crack the interview also fine, I'm okay with that, right? But when it comes to the actual work, then the realistic thing happen, and maybe there the over budget happen. Lot of scenarios I have seen so far. So that is what I am trying to say, share that. Put yourself again. Academics, I was also with that kind of a guy who think that academics will not come into my picture, but yes, in last 3 years I am going through the same academics which I supposed to do in my those 4 years. Yeah, not again the everything, not derivative integration, but the basic. Now coming to the SQL, you really need to know if you very good in SQL. That is, I believe, most important skill. Very good, appreciate. Same, you need to understand even the databases, because SQL query is a SQL query, that is a de facto and standard. Maybe some syntax or some design pattern is a different, but still we are talking with stars, select star or star select from this and that. That is the same world in which we are, whether we are using even some NoSQL database. Query design or something is following from the same fundamental patterns. If you understand about all those normalization, where this redundancy need to be there, or why it need to be there, why it not need to be there, the consistency, eventual and strong, what is the whole purpose, cloud is giving out of the box everything, then you can apply your concept in a practical manner. Just let's say giving you example of networking. We have all gone through some networking subject, but we have gone through OSA 7 layer, everyone I believe, but we have never seen that thing in practically, because maybe in the lab environment we don't have that visibility of that architecture, or maybe the switches and network devices. But cloud is giving out of the box again free of cost, that we can really feel what is happening at a layer 7 when the connection is getting established, or what is happening at layer 4. I found that is a beautiful, that cloud is for students now. It is something a damn powerful thing. You can see the practical thing which you are learning in your academics, like FPGAs, right? ASICs, application specific integrated circuit. Everything is available. Maybe in your college lab you will not get a chance to see, but here you can at least play and you can design something. The examples are given. Maybe some cost will be involved, but yes, learning will not come free. Time is equal to cost, and you need to justify yourself that yes, what you are going to get in return. Network and system admin, guys, virtualization is virtualization, and it is a key aspect area of the cloud, because we are dealing with the software defined virtualized environment. If you looking for a network cloud networking role, or cloud system engineer or cloud engineer, feel free again recall your virtualization concept. This is not the same, but little bit more enhanced version is there every year. AWS come up with some new series, and they are improving their overall process. But one tip I would like to share: one CPU is equal one CPU is not equal to one vCPU. Keep remember this thing. This is another myth, or what I can say. Yeah, the confusion is there. So keep remember while doing the migration, how you need to map the instance type from your physical to the virtual world. That is where your virtualization knowledge and your learning will came into picture. Yes, performance wise it may happen, they can say, or they are providing this near physical core or CPU performance, but one CPU is not equal to one CPU. There will be some if and but. That is a research, and that is an effort you need to put and to understand. Everything is software defined. I suggest do some research, understand about software defined everything. Software defined storage, software defined networking, software defined data center, SDDC, everything is now software defined because we are not going to physically interact with. Even the bare metal instances are provided or available on AWS, but still we are going to interact with the API driven method and software define everything. So please make sure basic these really need to understand before jumping to a very certification specific course. And at the end, then you need to maybe okay, after getting into a job, then you need to relearn this thing. Because if you learn this first, better take the bottom to top approach rather than top to bottom. And then know the purpose of each and every service. Storage is multiple time, and in that storage there are again the multiple types. Giving example of S3 having around 5 to 5 different tier, from single availability zone to something intelligent tier to the glacier, and the another level of glacier is also there. The same with EBS volume, maybe for something for provision IOPS, why it is required. It comes with its sweet cost. Understand that rather than just thinking that everything is faster. Maybe something you can achieve in much more lesser cost than putting a service out of the box which is expensive. Giving rate, if you understand about the IT, if you understand about rate, if you
Good.
understand yeah, understand about rate, maybe it will design your solution. Because these again the basics of IT, and we are following it from last maybe 3 to 4 decades. Nothing new,
Yeah.
but yeah, improved edition and versions are there. So now, favorite of favorite, do certification matter? So I believe for few situations, no, a big no. Especially, let's cover for freshers. Please don't put your time to do a certification, regardless of even if you are in fourth year, right? Don't do. Even I see the first year, second year, you can do. It's not that no one can do. I am not saying that no one can't do. It's easy to do, but certification is, I am telling you the actual, maybe a not even a 1% of actual whatever we are supposed to do. Until unless we have done something, then do certification. It will give a different level of benefit and different level of growth. Then at a first step we think that we need to do certification, then I will, or he or she will land to the awesome job and we will change the world in a night. Don't think and don't put this mindset right now, right away, throw away. Yeah, you are doing some courses, putting a certificate, it's okay, because doing that thing also takes some effort and time. But if you're really thinking about a professional career, certification in the college world, don't do. Let me tell you one important thing. Now this is another common thing which I what I can say encountered multiple times. A cloud practitioner is easy, it's for everyone. Let me tell you that exam is only for most experienced people, condition supply, who are in different field. Don't do cloud practitioner, don't do, especially students, please don't do. If you have enough money, maybe put it in somewhere, do something else. Maybe put it, take it as your AWS bill and do some more practice to do some services which is not covered under free tier. But don't do the this cloud practitioner exam. That is only for experienced people who are in different field. Take example of, we are IT people. It may happen, I believe, in most of the people experience, we reach at some interview. But do you think that HR is always able to understand what is our resume? I found personally no. I believe the CCP or this cloud practitioner is for the people like HR and salespeople, experienced salespeople who are into sales, who knows whatever they are doing, but they are entering into the cloud world. They need to tackle their customer. They need to understand, because the salespeople is always in front of the IT team as well as the business owner or CXOs. So they need to know. So cloud practitioner is for those people. If you are in student, if you do, again, it's just a cup of tea, I can tell you, but it will not give you then value. So then don't think that you are going to leverage the value even you are in fourth year or final year of whatever the course you are doing. So don't think that you put it in your resume and everyone think, hey, you know AWS, please welcome. That is not going to happen, because as a fresher, if you don't know the fundamental, this practitioner exam is something, not even the fundamental, just maybe a services, little bit, matching the services. So don't do. Experienced people, if you are in a different field, then I believe you can think. Again, different field means non-IT background and non-IT experience, or especially HR and sales people. If now coming to the fresher, if you are experienced field, then again, depend upon 0 to 5 year, 5 to 10 year, 10 plus year, depend upon your core area. If you are into the security, jump directly to the security exam. Don't think that you need to give exam one by one. Yes, you need to work on the basics, because until unless this base is not ready, the security exam is, again, that is not a cup of tea, that I can tell you. But if you are a big data guy, you want to, yes, you want to leverage, or you want to looking for a change and planning for some different career opportunities, yes, that can help you to get something, at least a chance to appear for interview. But then you need to work maybe more, understand on the again the basic layer. There you can choose some kind of associate level track, but don't again think that you need to do the certification also, maybe just for the learning. If you don't want, because certification tracks are a designed one, that is where it is covering the most common services of AWS. So you can follow a one something, do some practice, then follow on your specialization one, then do something. Same with architect level. Architect maybe having a much more experience, even doing before certification, he or she is doing work on AWS. Just certification, a pro level will validate that, yeah, someone put the effort and he or she is getting recognized, maybe some appreciation. But don't put that certification will give you everything. It will not give. I have done this, I was in the same process. My mindset has now changed. I am not into that. I'm just doing when I learned, I feel like comfortable, then easily. And again, don't put that in a week. You just need to go through some courses, do some practice test. It will not make sense. Passing exam will give you nothing. Once you will comfortable with platform, let me tell you, you can sit for a 3 to 4 exam in a day. Even if you're really comfortable, or if you know really in and out, you can sit for a maybe morning session, evening session, 2 exams, nothing big, 100 minutes, nothing big, guys. So think about the certification. If someone is doing, and then you see that someone is doing, then I need to do. I think please rethink about your thoughts, and see where is, what is your situation and what you actually want to do. Don't think that someone is doing, then you need to do, or to compete someone, or there is no race in profession. Everyone is doing his and her job, and doing great jobs.
Yeah, yeah, Chirag, we can take the questions as well. We have few
Just
questions.
maybe 5 minutes more, then we can.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Few quick tips. Now, how to learn, build something. Again, watching the course is a one thing, but everyone is having the social media profile. But again, most of the people don't have their own portfolio. Building a portfolio, you need to have at least a one domain. Domain is now a meal cost, which we are spending on our multiple time in a daily basis, right? Have a domain, try to understand how the DNS is working, because DNS is again the crucial and the important element in our internet world. If DNS is not damn good, whatever the biggest infrastructure even on AWS you have built, nothing gonna work, or user experience will be poor. So build something, design portfolio. Maybe a serverless portfolio can be there if you don't want to do the network, right? If you are into some kind of a cloud development kit, CDKs are there, and some different framework for the mobile is there. If you are a React guy or the front end languages guy, try to leverage, everything is there. But again, while doing that, have a good understanding about the basic network compute storage. The quickly you fail, the quickly you will be able to understand and troubleshoot and to recover. And that is your actual learning, that yes, you have gone through the same experience and you have a handy answer, because few problems are coming or repeated multiple times in each and every case. Put some target date, that how you want to learn and build your this portfolio or something, your practical learning. If you don't put a target date, putting a target date for the exam is easy by watching a course, but building something you need to put, then